If your burger bun is banned in Europe, why is it legal on your lunch tray? Today, we expose the dough conditioner hiding in mainstream buns, potassium bromate, and why regulators overseas said no while US menus still say yes. You'll see which chains are research flags, how this additive links to kidney and thyroid risks, and the simple moves that cut your exposure fast. Stay with me because the difference between a safe bun and a risky one is a single ingredient you've never ordered, yet eat all the time. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great! Thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video. You may want to finish this video before you finish your burger, because the issue isn't the patty. It's the bun. Let's start with the quiet add-on that makes buns puff up on cue. Potassium bromate. It's a dough conditioner. Bakers use it to boost rise, tighten crumb, and shave minutes off bake time. Chains like it because uniform bread is cheap to make, easy to slice, and looks the same in every photo. Faster lines, fewer rejects, lower costs. But here's the kicker. Other countries said no.
When ordering at the drive-thru, customers are usually thinking about what they're eating, not the packaging their food comes in. Well, you might want to think again. The highest levels of PFAS were found in food packaging from Nathan's Famous, Cava, Arby's, Burger King, Chick-fil-A, Stop & Shop, and Sweetgreen.
Some research has shown that exposure to certain types of PFAS have been linked to serious health effects.
In the US, rules let it slide if lab tests don't detect residues after baking. That sounds neat on paper. In the real world, bake cycles vary, ovens drift, and not every bun gets the same heat. How sure are you that your bun is clear? Walk the line with me. Tanks pump flour and water into massive mixers. The dough gets a drip of conditioners for lift and texture. Rounds fly through proofers, then high heat tunnels. Seconds saved per tray mean thousands of extra buns a day. The shortcut costs pennies per bun, which is nothing until you sell millions. The research that raised alarms didn't come from a press release. Animal studies tied bromate exposure to kidney and thyroid tumors, which is why several regions banned or restricted it on a precaution basis. Not because the sky fell, but because the risk didn't seem worth the speed. Some brands moved away from it after public pressure. They swapped suppliers or rewrote specs.
We are continuing to test the food supply, taking action when warranted, and research is a top priority.
And while PFAS are dangerous over time, the Food and Drug Administration says there is no need for alarm right now.
Currently, our research is not showing any specific scientific evidence that supports recommending consumers avoid particular foods in the food supply.
Polyfluoroalkyl substances, or PFAS, are used in food packaging to prevent grease and water from soaking through food wrappers and cups. The problem is the chemicals used to make them can be ingested and harmful over time.
Others stayed vague, offering no clear, public promise that every bun, from every plant, is bromate-free. That gap matters. Think of it like a turbo button on a car you drive daily. Great launch, but the engine wear shows up later. Certain chains have been flagged by watchdog testing and ingredient lists. The good news, you can dodge a lot of risk with one habit. Scan for bromated flour on posted ingredient sheets. If you can't verify, go for items on tortillas, lettuce wraps, or buns a chain labels as bromate-free. Now let's move on to the stuff that can jump into your meal even if the recipe looks clean, the chemicals that hitch a ride from gloves and wrappers. What they don't tell you is some chemicals don't come from the recipe at all. They transfer from the gear that touches your food.
So if PFAS are in the packaging, are they in your food?
PFAS can migrate from packaging into food you eat, like that burger wrapped in paper that contains PFAS or that salad in a molded fiber bowl.
In general, PFAS don't break down in the environment, and they've been linked to serious health problems such as increased risk of some cancers, lower immunity, and liver damage. That people who eat takeout regularly may have higher PFAS levels in their blood. Of all of the packaging tested, it's eggs that had some of the highest levels of PFAS. The substance is used to make the packaging grease resistant.
Some research has shown that exposure to certain types of PFAS have been linked to serious health effects.
Let's start with definitions you can use. Phthalates are plasticizers. They keep plastic soft and bendy, and they can migrate from gloves, vinyl tubing, and packaging into food, fastest when the food is hot and fatty. PFAS are grease-resistant, forever chemicals, used to keep oil from soaking through wrappers and boxes. They don't break down easily. They travel. You order simple. No sauce, no mystery add-ons. But the exposure risk rides in on contact and heat. Fries, nuggets, and fried chicken act like magnets. Hot oil opens the door. The chemicals walk in, walk the line. At the fryer, oil moves through vinyl tubing. Workers wear plastic gloves that are easy to swap and cheap to buy. Sandwiches come off the grill, get wrapped tight in greaseproof paper, and sit while the ticket stacks up. Drive-through speed means more time pressed in hot packaging, not less. Recent studies found phthalates in many fast food samples and PFAS markers in some wrappers.
Consumer Reports tested more than 100 food packaging products from 24 retailers for so-called forever chemicals, or PFAS.
Most of it probably came all wrapped up or boxed in one form or another. It's what's in some of that packaging that is raising concern.
In packaging from fast food restaurants and from grocery stores. We even found it in packaging from places that say they're moving away from PFAS.
Some companies stress that with PFAS so common in the environment, it's nearly impossible to eliminate them.
Fatty items and fried chicken often tested higher. That's not a shock when fat loves these compounds and heat speeds the handoff. Chains pledge cleaner materials. The truth is, supply chains sprawl. A single regional supplier swap, and what ends up in your bag changes without a heads up. Your store may be cleaner this month and not next. Think of your meal like a sponge. Whatever it sits on when it's hot, it can soak up. You want a filter you can use today without blowing your budget. Start by choosing grilled over fried when you have the option. Ask for dine-in plating or no wrap, please, and move hot food out of wrappers fast. Skip those grease-proof cookie bags. And pick chains that publish PFAS-free packaging policies you can read, not just promises. So what is the takeaway? If the bun and the bag matter, your safest move is to pick spots that state their standards and stick to items that dodge the biggest contact points. The truth is, the riskiest part of your fast food order is often the speed tools, bromated buns, plasticizers, and greaseproof coatings, not the burger. If this gave you something to chew on, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who eats on the run. You might want to ask your go-to chain to confirm bromate-free buns and PFAS-free packaging. A short email or a quick check of their posted specs goes a long way. Next, we map the drive-through swaps that cut the most exposure for the least cost. One change trims 3 risks at once. Your wallet stays put, your load drops,